I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching My Hero Academia, Season 6, Episode 6. It's been a bit since we watched Episode 5. We've been a little bit sick, so apologies if there's any coughing or weird voices. Yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. But,
yeah, the weird voices are not fake.
No.
We don't have like a voice filter on right now
No.
to make us sound different.
No voice changer.
No
We're not
voice
like
changer.
lowering the levels of any audio or anything. But last episode, right?
Yeah.
Where did we end off? Shigaraki, man.
Yeah.
He has a cape.
Gigantomachia. Gigantomachia.
Yeah, he's awake. That's gonna be rough.
That's about to happen.
Yeah. I'm a little conflicted because, yeah, alright, Shigaraki's the bad guy, but I love him. Like, I like him as a villain, and it's so interesting to me that, like, Season 1, right? We're introduced to Shigaraki. He uses all this gamer slang. He's like just a kid. And I was like, okay, this is kind of like a weak villain. But that was the intention. Like, he was just a kid. And over the course of this series, he's grown into a badass, terrifying villain. And I'm honestly scared. We're at a point in My Hero that I don't think we've ever gotten to in terms of severity and brutalness.
The language that was being used at the very end of last episode was basically that he was transcendent.
Yeah.
Like he had cast off the shackles of humanity, and this villain, this power was something just, obviously we have this humanity with superpowers, but it's like that he is now even transcended past that. Terrifying.
Look, I was not happy seeing Crust die. I like Crust.
It was a good death.
Okay.
Because it was like one of those moments in like the movie theater when you can't hear a sound at all and just like tears drop, you know, and like everyone communally is affected by this. It's like I'm not really good with all the Marvel movies, but when everyone is getting like zapped away or something.
Yeah, I liked Crust. That was a sad death. That being said, when I watched the other heroes die from Shigaraki's quirk within the city, I was kind of happy. And that sounds weird, and I don't wish death upon these heroes. And like in the grand scheme of things, I'm like, oh my god, this is horrific. But I'm very happy for like a storytelling point of view. Like this is no kids show anymore. Like, you know what I mean? I'm really happy.
It's like Class 1A has graduated. This is college now. Like
it's just really cool that I'm this invested in this show still. And I was a little wary going into the season that it's just going to be another season of My Hero Academia. But like oh my god.
I mean, it hasn't started out that way. And at this point, with the cards that they're laying on the table, I can't even fathom what I'm about to see.
Me either. I'm a little nervous, like I've prefaced, but I am excited more than anything. This is one of the This is unexpectedly one of my most anticipated shows we're watching right now.
And you definitely didn't expect that before, because I mean, My Hero is like just one of those just fun shows to watch. But now there's just like a level there of everything that you once knew about the show is basically possibly going to decay and crumble. And Deku is really going to have to pick up all of these new vestiges, these new powers pretty quickly. I think he's going to need all of them to be able to beat whatever this transcended Shigaraki all-for-one is able to unleash.
Well, if I'm trying to predict anything narratively, first of all, sorry, it's like kind of taking me a couple minutes to get back into it since it's been a while since we recorded. But if I'm thinking about it narratively, I'm kind of expecting like a devastating loss right now.
Like a lot, maybe like even a lot of like even more dead heroes than we've already seen from the last episode.
Because like think about it.
Some favorites even.
Think about it. What you just said, we need these other quirks that Deku hasn't unlocked yet. And realistically, I don't imagine it happening in the span of one battle. I think that it's going to need to take its time to breathe, to be done well, which leads me to believe we're not just going to wipe out Shigaraki, the big bad, right now. I assume that we're going to lose a bit. Mm-hmm. And that's probably going to lead into Deku having to learn about these new quirks and practice them. Mm-hmm. But
we've discussed how long we thought that they would need to give to each quirk to make us feel like he actually had sufficient time to learn it and it wasn't too fast-paced. And I feel like he needs at least a couple episodes for each new quirk.
Well, I am expecting a loss, but what does that mean? Define a loss here. Are we going to lose, like, a student? Are we going to...
Oh my gosh.
Like, what?
I mean, they're all there.
It could get really dark. They could do
someone from the other class, you know? Not, like, class 1A, but maybe one of the other students. So it's a hard hit because it's a kid who's not a professional hero, but it's not... devastating like enough that it's someone we've followed for so long.
I think that it could go anywhere, and that's really cool because I sometimes thought the show might have been a little bit predictable, and to be in a place where I don't know what to expect is very exciting.
Yeah.
You ready?
This is no Gentle Criminal.
No Gentle Criminal, but I kind of wish it was. I miss Gentle. I don't know. You ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, that was My Hero Academia, Season 6, Episode 6. That episode felt like it was about 45 minutes, and I am so happy that it did. That was an amazing episode.
It was like, especially for being a setup episode, that's basically, you know, we've gotten onto the roller coaster now, I feel like. I feel like we got off because we were like, oh, okay, you know, everything's okay. And then with Shigaraki waking up, it's like we got onto a whole nother roller coaster.
Yeah.
And it's just now starting to like inch up the hill. And we're about, I mean, with Gran Torino right at the end there being like, there's an oversaturation of heroes. I was like, dude, knock on wood right now.
Yeah.
You're putting bad stuff out there into the universe.
I think that it was a lot of information we got too, but it was done in such a compelling way that I don't think word it better than everything in this entire series is coming together. Mm-hmm. I don't know how this doesn't culminate in the end of the series in the best way possible. Anywhere from, and I'm also terrified of absolutely everybody on our team dying, and I think that like they've done such a great job writing it.
1 to 10 heroes other than obviously, you know, Mirko and Hawks are basically there. And an oversaturation of other heroes. Just to
name a couple of things, like Eraserhead being there and talking to, and having talk from Shigaraki and about Shigaraki saying like, oh, he's so cool kind of thing. Yeah. Connecting back to the first season, saying that Shigaraki is basically like the perfect Nomu, and that's what the culmination's been. We had Search coming back into play in the best way possible.
That's one of my points was like there was some great clue cuts in this episode that within a first couple seconds you might have been able to guess why they were cutting to a different thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes it took a little bit, and I feel like Search, that was one of the clue cuts that we got, and then we got a cut to the Nomu tanks basically lighting up before we even see them at the very, very end of the episode. So there was a lot of cuts of information, of clues, of like how shit was about to go down and what powers Shigaraki might have.
But the pacing was so good.
The pacing was so good.
It was so... If we paused it, sure. Like, okay, oh, that's what they're trying to do. But the way that they were giving me so much information in such a short amount of time, I was completely invested and didn't have time to think. And it was just like... also, Bakugo. Like, he has come so full circle with just who he is as a character and the information that he knows to be able to play such an important role here in the story, which is also terrifying to me because I had said early on I was scared for Bakugo, thinking about like how far he's come, how he is the reason that All Might lost his quirk, but it's kind of distilled and put into the character of Shigaraki as the reason that all happened at the moment. The only reason Bakugo...
He's in a dangerous position.
He was kidnapped one-on-one with Shigaraki, and they were talking, you know? I was initially very scared for Bakugo, and then I was like, damn, this is Endeavor's students right here. And we've had so much growth and development for Endeavor. I'm scared of it. Scared for Endeavor's life. I'm scared for Eraserhead. I'm terrified for Gran Torino.
I mean, the situation we're setting up is these are the two students who have a direct relationship with Shigaraki, and these are characters mixed in that have relationships with these two students, some knowing more than others. I'm wondering, we've already seen evidence that Endeavor can work through clues that are given to him cryptically from Hawks, that I'm wondering if, like, after kind of having a puzzle brain for a little bit, trying to figure out about this, like, Paranormal Liberation Army, all of that stuff with Hawks, is he going to start piecing together in these next episode or two about what Deku means when he says that Shigaraki's after him specifically? Is Endeavor going to piece together All Might to Deku?
I think that if he has time, he will, but also it's gonna happen because of the way of thinking right now of Shigaraki. If Shigaraki starts talking out loud about One for All...
You're so right. He might even say, Izuku Midoriya is who I'm looking for, and then everyone would piece it together.
And we already heard the term One for All over the radio. It's kind of a terrifying position to put Deku in because...
Did you think that we were going to get to a point like that? Like a dangerous position like that?
From a danger sense, no, I didn't. And I'm really glad we're here narratively, sure, but I'm scared of what that means for Deku's character. If everybody knows that One for All exists and that Shigaraki's after it, where does that leave Deku?
What's the treatment he's going to get? What does life mean for him after this point? How many heroes are maybe going to decide to try to protect and nurture him even more, but lay down their lives basically in the process? I never even started to think about the idea of anyone ever finding out, other than a select few characters. It never occurred to me, like, what if everyone just suddenly knew?
Well, I am very clueless in regards to where the story's going to go, because I think you and I are both pretty confident it's not going to end this season. Or in 10 episodes kind of thing.
With how much growth I feel like would need to be done to be able to defeat Shigaraki.
Yeah.
I feel like Deku needs a decent amount of time. I think like we said in the intro and the opening, he has a few other quirks he needs to master, and he needs I feel like, unless they're going to do like a montage kind of 10 years later or 5 years later, he's going to need a couple episodes at least for each of these new quirks. Well,
think about it though. How are we going to get there? Because Shigaraki has a quirk that lets him see wherever Deku hides.
He has search. How?
It's going to be either Shigaraki needs to take a significant blow, to give Deku time, narratively, which does not seem like that could happen. This feels like a Dragon Ball Z moment where Deku needs to run, jump in a hyperbolic time chamber, train for a year, but in reality it's only a day. What
quirks have we seen him use?
Deku?
No, Shigaraki.
Oh man, multiple.
We've seen some type of shot, the sonic wave, some type of...
it looked like it was two quirks together. It was a radio wave and then a pressure one.
Yeah, and then he has a regenerative ability.
Regeneration. And then he has search.
He has decay, he has search.
And he has superhuman strength.
Yeah, he's able to move himself around in space, basically. Yeah. As I think they said, All Might can.
Yeah. And that's terrifying that even without quirks, he's just a super-powered human. We knew that a little bit at the end of last season, but it's hard to face.
How do you feel about us during this whole basically season so far? I feel like we've had All Might throughout this whole journey, even when he wasn't able to fight anymore. He's at least shown watching things, or commentary, or inside his mind he's thinking about things. This whole season so far, stuff's really happening, and does he even know? Is he watching? Is he there at that at those tables with all of those people that are trying to watch this surveillance and communicate with the heroes, is he aware of the severity of what's happening right now? Could he or would he even try to get there to do anything?
At this point, all he'd be is a liability.
Right.
And that sucks, and I'm sure he hates that and is dreading that he can't help right now. But I find it interesting
that we're not seeing that internal dialogue of him hating that he can't be there.
If I'm honest, I kind of love that we're not. I imagine.
It's just interesting to me because I'm so used to his kind of awareness of situations and his internal dialogue of wishing he could be doing something.
Well, think about it like in the way that it's literal passing the torch in a sense. At the end of season 4, I think the fight that Endeavor had versus that Nomu was the culmination of him taking over the spot as number one hero for everybody in the world and us as an audience. We saw All Might there, gripping his wound, wishing he could help out. But even without him there, Endeavor prevailed, and now he's our number one, and that's what we're seeing. He
takes over the spot of protector of Deku, basically.
Yeah, and man, I don't know what to do here, because I'm looking at Endeavor, right? And I'm thinking, okay, there's a pretty decent chance that Dabi is Endeavor's son and that Dabi's going to want to fight Endeavor here. How does Dabi get to Endeavor, like, in the story right now? Because if that happens, then Shigaraki's going to have his attention freed, where he's going to be able to go right after Deku.
Well, yeah, we have two places at play. And right now, I feel like where we are at that kind of mansion for the Liberation Front, Redestro, that I feel like the heroes are failing there with Makia waking up and how Toga has now basically unleashed vengeance.
Yeah.
And Dabi still is peak health, I think it looks like. And Compress, they're all okay. And everyone else, hero-wise, a lot of the main heroes have already been carted off the battlefield in a way. We have a main hero from both areas being, unable to fight anymore.
Well, it seems like, can we retreat? What does a retreat even look like?
If you have Search, you can only retreat if the villain lets you. Is there anything that would make Shigaraki be like, I'll come for you later? Because I feel like that's the only way you can get Deku away and not have everyone die.
Well, how do you not have anyone die? Everyone die right now. It seems like the only way to give Deku time to either run or learn about new quirks is sacrificing heroes.
Yes.
That's...
Is that really the story that this is leading up to? Is a race against time of people just basically standing in front of him and blocking the bullets until he's able to be the one that saves everyone? I'm
not at all feeling confident in any regard right now, in any position. And at the end of the episode, I was like, yeah, Gran Torino, heck yeah, we have the number 1 and number 10 hero, we have you, and it's just, 5v1, whatever. Then the Nomus come out.
Gran Torino even says it's only one person, and then right when he says it.
And then, without Gigantomachia even, being awoken yet, Toga's unleashing hell.
Toga doesn't even look... She looks like she's cast off the shackles of humanity.
Yeah. One thing I would love to just bring attention to this episode is it's very easy to, spend all your budget wherever for animation, but it's not just animation that I am loving. It's the character art and the designing, and everybody feels 100% true to character, and just so much details applied. We had so many good shots of present Mike, Eraserhead, Toga here, Deku. It's really consistent, and I really appreciate that in an anime.
I also appreciate that there's little tiny, more wholesome details mixed in with a very severe... We get one shot of of a dead hero, and the one guy being like, you can't mourn him now,
Funk
we need
Man.
to leave him. And then in the next shot we have Manuel like tearing up Eraserhead's dry eye, and I'm like, we're getting these wholesome mixed with just horrible things. And then we had a sidekick of Endeavor's basically launching him
Project.
Up
That's
into
an
the air.
awesome quirk. We also, I think in the background, I don't remember his name, maybe Native. We had he was also a hero at the end of season 2 versus Stain that we were shown.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that the lightheartedness being mixed in with the severity's done really well, but it also leaves me scared. It's another thing that adds to my like, oh my god, we're on the losing end right now for the first time. Where's my hope? Like, where's my symbol of peace?
Where's your symbol of peace? Your symbol of peace is not ready yet. Gosh, just as soon, that's like probably one of the biggest gasp moments I've had in this show in a while, is everyone hearing One for All on the comms and seeing Deku's face. That was like the biggest like gasp for air that I've had with the show in a while, and I was shocked by it. Narratively, what's gonna happen with that? You know how I said, I think in the opening when Bakugo blasted off basically with Deku, I was like, oh, is Todoroki gonna follow? And it's gonna be like in the opening where they were the 3 that studied under Endeavor, and now they're the 3 that are, but Todoroki didn't follow them.
Maybe that's what Dabi's for. Maybe Todoroki versus Dabi. Oh, what if it's Todoroki versus Dabi and the Ice Guy? Yeah. Yes! Oh, that'd be sick. It would be very difficult, that'd be crazy.
That would be good. What did Endeavor call for? He called for any heroes that didn't touch the ground, basically. Yeah. I'm like, Uraka, here we go. It's your time to shine.
I like seeing Ryukyu. Didn't we get like a little bit that it looked like Shigaraki tried to decay? I couldn't tell if that was because Eraserhead was already looking at him or because he couldn't decay that part of Ryukyu.
I'm between is decay, because Eraserhead says, oh, he must have more than one quirk. So maybe DK is the quirk that he erased. But also, you were like, oh, maybe because it's bone. And I was like, oh, yeah. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, but he decays the whole body. Yeah. And there's lots of bones. So I don't know about that. I didn't know why it didn't happen, other than the idea that maybe Eraserhead had already erased that quirk.
So, let's think about the build-up here, like, in front of Shigaraki. We had ample time given to Bakugo as a character in regards to how he needs to keep up, and like he's not gonna lose now while he's behind.
A lot of internal dialogue from him too.
That's a very terrifying position for Bakugo to be. It reminds me of how I felt towards Lemillion before he lost his quirk. We have Shigaraki with multiple bullets to like take away quirks, and he can just stab them into people with his super speed and stuff. Like,
didn't his bullets get messed up?
It looked like it, but at the beginning of this episode, it looked like he put them in his pocket.
Maybe only some of them got messed up.
Yeah, but I'm very scared for Bakugo. Whether losing his quirk or worse, and then I'm scared for Gran Torino because he came in to save the day.
So who would? Okay, so I really like where you went with talking about the fact that Shigaraki might have some quirk bullets to get rid of quirks.
Yeah.
If he only has a few, he'd want to use them sparingly and be smart about it. Who would he try to erase their quirk right now?
Eraserhead, Endeavor. Ryukyu, maybe.
I mean, when he tapped Ryukyu, maybe he put that in her and we just didn't notice.
I don't know. And then we have these terrifying, horrifying
I don't like
Nomus.
The one that if you look at the shot of all the Nomu kind of running into the fray, the first one you see is this wolf-like one, but the one that I really don't like has a row of teeth, just like a collar around his brain. What level are these? Because these couldn't be high ends, but they're still gonna be difficult to fight, especially because, I mean, like, any Nomu is difficult to fight, especially if you're not like the top 10 hero.
Yeah,
it's gonna at least take your attention.
I'm absolutely loving this show right now.
Who knew this season was just gonna be the most wild ride immediately out the gate?
Shigaraki, every time he's on screen, he demands a presence, and I think he looks great. I could, if you told me that Shigaraki was going to be like one of my favorite character designs in this entire series from the first time I saw him, I'd be like, well, I already saw him. Like, what do you mean? And like, he's so cool.
And like, they didn't have to give us any background information of how his character design came to be, but knowing where his cape came from just makes his new character design and villain kind of costume even better. It's like we're in on an inside joke.
I'm also another character I'm worried for is what's her name? Endeavor's green-haired sidekick.
Oh yeah. I feel like she's going to put herself in front of Endeavor and/or Bakugo or Deku as well.
Yeah.
And she's also not super top tier hero, so I mean expendable, I guess, in terms of the narrative with Shigaraki being so overpowered right now.
Unless we have some secret weapon at the base side of things, we're done. Cementos is tired. Mount Lady's tired.
It's like Shigaraki like now he's so much more powerful and he has a secret weapon and we're like, oh, but we've already been fighting this whole time and all of our heroes are tired.
Yeah.
Like we don't have a secret weapon. We don't have reserves. Like, I mean, we have reserves technically, heroes that weren't fighting because they were mostly the kids.
Yeah. It's a scary place to be. The only thing I can think of is like other schools that we've met and then maybe other countries, but I don't think we know anybody in other countries to help. Like, I don't know how we turn this around, if we do at all.
Isn't Pony from...
Yes, you are right.
Her family comes to help.
That'd be nuts. Funkman died, and I don't know what his quirk was.
Like,
what?
Something funky.
Maybe it was like like a laugh or like joke, but it was just like he brought everybody, he made everybody dance in like a funky way. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he just taps you and you uncontrollably dance and you can't stop yourself.
Can you think of anybody?
Collapse on the floor in exhaustion.
Can you think of anybody we don't have right now versus the fight against Shigaraki that would be helpful? Like really helpful?
I still have it like deep within my heart that I feel like inevitably Kurogiri needs to be back into the picture, especially with, I don't know, I feel like Eraserhead's the only one right now who's able to really do anything to Shigaraki. And also we had Eraserhead saying in this episode that, like 2 times now that it was supposed to be him. And Present Mike's still watching too, and Present Mike has the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, maybe that's something that could come into play here that is someone else that is not currently in the mix.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Obviously it could be a good interesting or bad interesting. But I can't think of any like heroes that I'm like, that aren't here that I wish were.
I would like to talk about Kurogiri to end out the video, but to answer my own question, the perfect matchup right now that cannot be used, but the perfect matchup would have been Lemillion.
Oh,
like
stop! No, but what if Eri during this time is able to?
That'd be great. Let's cross our fingers. But like, if in a fight, 1-on-1, I might. Lemillion's up there, man. I might.
He doesn't have to touch anything. It could just go through him.
Yeah. If you told me I had to pick one hero to 1v1 Shigaraki right now, it might be Lemillion if he had powers. And okay.
I mean, we haven't seen Lemillion and we haven't seen Eri for this whole season, so I like putting that into the mix.
Yeah. Because like everything's coming back in full circle, possibly. But to end out, I do want to talk about Kurogiri because I think that it's an interesting question if you expect or feel like you need anything more from him in regards to him being Shigaraki's friend. I don't think I do.
To Eraserhead's friend?
Oh, yeah, Eraser, sorry. I don't think I
He's
need...
Shigaraki's friend, too.
I don't think I need anything more from him in a way, because he gave information, the information that led to the whole mission happening at the hospital.
I don't think I need anything from him. The reason I thought to add it to the mix is that, you know, we're being told that this consciousness is still in there of the people beforehand.
Yeah.
And we have all these Nomus on the battlefield at the moment. And it would be really fulfilling to see one of these Nomus, one of these first perfected experiments, being able to be controlled by the true person at the heart of it.
Yeah.
I think that could be really cool and compelling to see. And I don't think it would be so out of pocket. Like, I don't think I'd be like, that doesn't make sense. Because I feel like it could make sense to me if they did it.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you. And I think it would make sense to me.
Especially, I don't see it actually happening, but I think I would like it if it did. But I don't expect it to. I'm perfectly satisfied with what we've been given from kind of that character and what it's done for present Mike and Eraserhead. It can be a chapter that's closed.
It's definitely still present, though. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you open the question with who's not here.
Yeah. That
could be added into the mixture.
We don't have that many reserves, though. Like, at the end of the day, we don't.
I mean, like, warp Deku and Bakugo out of there and keep warping them so that Shigaraki can never find them.
I think you and I both might be on the same page that the biggest, like, we're fucked is the fact that Shigaraki has Search. Like,
is that what Eraserhead really does need to actually get rid of? I mean, could they battle with DK and these other quirks, and Search is the one that maybe he should focus on because of the fact that he's trying to protect his students?
Do we know of any radius for Search and we forgot about it because it's been a while? That would be awesome.
Oh, I feel like she has a radius. I feel like there was a radius for Search.
That'd be great, but I don't know.
That was season 3, right?
Yeah, correct. All right, you good?
Yep.
Cool.
Cementoss is gonna die.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.